Well, these three obviously came from the same stone. The key to these things is a spherical end. That's what you want to strike the flint with. Yeah, let's see what we can do with this stuff. Oh, yes. We've made a bow. So it's only right that we do make an arrow to go with our bow. And we have a complete banero, as a friend of mine told me it's called. So I'm going to make a hunting arrow. A hunting arrow point aligns with the nock up and down like that. And that is to slip between the ribs of the buffalo or deer or moose, because the ribs tend to go up and down on them. And a war arrow, the heads are put on like this to slip between the ribs of their neighbors and go the other way. So we're gonna be peaceable about it. So I'm splitting the end of the shaft with my blade.
This seems to me like it would be the most perilous part of the process.
It's not really, because the grain splits nice straight anyway. And so as long as you get if you started in the center like I did, you get an equal amount of material on both sides, the crack will run fairly straight. Now what I'm going to do to try to straighten out that unsymmetrical basal end is I'm going to put my blade in backwards, down a ways.
Oh.
And tip it a bit and take that sliver off one side. Let's see how much more I need to do. That's pretty good. So I'm going to put some, as you can see, this kind of turned back to gel. It's kind of loose now, so I'm just kind of coating the inside here with some of that gooey, dewy stuff.
So you soaked that in water.
It's been soaking for an hour.
Okay.
And I don't want it to dissolve into nothingness, because I'll just lose the whole thing. But getting it loose like this is a good thing. I can run the threads over it and it'll pick up plenty. Ample supply. All right, so there's enough goo in there this isn't like super glue. It doesn't stick right away. It takes its time. But, all right, so this is where it gets fun. You can see we got quite a gap below that arrowhead, all that open space there. We're going to squeeze that up when we start wrapping it. That's going to pinch. It's already, just by doing that, it's like pretty tight.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. All right, so I've got our hide or sinew glue soaking, which doesn't take much to get it wet. It's like a back of a stamp. Sinew from the legs of the deer. We use it's the first section of leg that comes up off the hoof. There's a couple cords of sinew that run up mostly out the back of it, and that's stripped down for making like sinew back bows and things like that. But if you want to do wrappings or sewing projects, then you want the sinew from the back strap of the deer, and that's, you know, the part that runs down on either side of the spine on the back of the deer. When you fillet that out, you get a nice long piece of meat. It's the second best piece of meat in the whole animal, and makes it even better when you take what they call the silver skin off. It's this layer of tendon, and that's what this is. Take that off and just throw it on a board or something like that to dry, and when it's dry it falls off pretty much. But look at how it strips out into these long threads. They're great. Now that is just about enough to do everything we need to do on the Arrowhead end of this project. And I'm using my thumbnail to break the fibers apart. See it looking a little thicker and a little more thready as I go. I've heard of people filing little teeth in their fingernails for this purpose. Scratching bug bites a little dangerous, but I like to run this stuff through the water first. In a pinch, you can run it through your mouth. It doesn't hurt nothing. Makes great dental floss.
Yeah, it kind of looks like floss.
Yeah. When they make artificial sinew, it's really nothing but dental floss, thicker version. But it helps to get it good and soft before you go for the glue.
So if a vegan for some reason wanted to make an arrow, they could use dental floss.
Yes, but what are they going to hunt with their arrow? Broccoli?
Yes, for hunting tomatoes.
Yes, we're going to get in so much trouble. All right, so I'm binding it down now, and a little bit of force repeated over and over and over by wrapping like this tends to add up to a lot of power in the pull. Okay. My first wrap is just going to be concerned with pinching that wood back together. The nice thing about using real sinew and sinew glue or hide glue or any kind of glue really would work, but I think this is better, there's no need for knots. So
yeah, I was going to ask you how you were going to finish that.
Yeah, you just wrap it down like that, and it's like paper mache, and that'll glue up tight. You can put a top coat of glue after the fact, like lacquering it with the stuff. Now, see, that's already nice and snug. And if you wanted to be a meanie in the hunting or in the warring department, you'd leave it like that, because that'll be sufficient to stick that blade into somebody, but it's most likely going to stay in them.
Right.
Here we go. We're wrapping around the notches, corner notches of this arrowhead. I've come up and over the first one, around straight on that, and back down to form the first crisscross around the shaft, and then back up for a crisscross again on the other side, straight across that one, and back down here. Careful not to over pull on the sharp places. And that should certainly hold it steady while she flies through the air. And it's probably pretty well centered. For what it is, I'd say it's pretty centered. That head looks good on it, that caramel color, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sharp, pokey things. Now, for stability in the flight, we should put some feathers on there. I'm going to show you how I strip the feather. Alright, so we've got three that are fairly similar, or close enough.